Today we are diving into a topic that just makes me so angry, and I know that most of you, if not all, will share in this anger because how could you not possibly get upset when you hear about this? As you've probably guessed from the title, we're talking about influencers flat out lying to you and intentionally doing so either for views, for money. They don't have any cares about it. And not only do they not have any cares about it, but they literally admit it. Social media influencers are known for their picture-perfect lives, luxury vacations, spotless homes, most of the time, and endless sponsorships. But behind the scenes, things are not always as they seem. In fact, one influencer, one that I myself watched a lot when I was younger, openly confessed to curating these fake realities for the sake of views, under the guise of, it's not real, it's just entertainment. I was just perusing TikTok as one does occasionally. Who knows if after January 19th that could even be a statement anymore. It's January 17th when I'm filming this, so I have no clue. Personally, I don't think it's going anywhere, but time will tell. Anyways, I was perusing TikTok and came across this video from the influencer I used to watch all the time, Aspen Ovard. Let's watch this video together and then we will talk about it as always.
I thought we all knew that those videos were not real and that they were just for fun. Obviously, like, some parts of it were real when it was like my morning routine for whatever. It's like I wake up and have breakfast and do stuff, but like I thought we all knew that these videos were just for entertainment. Most of it was like not real. It was literally for entertainment. Obviously nothing was meant to be like a lie or whatever, but it's like it was meant to just be an entertaining video. That was the vibe for the time.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it there because she literally said it wasn't meant to be real. It wasn't meant to be a lie either. Those are two contradictory statements. Like, you make a video for your younger audience, put real, like my real morning routine or my real night routine in the title, and then expect your subscribers or your followers, you just assume that they know it's fake because you know it's fake. And then you said it wasn't meant to be a lie, but it also wasn't meant to be real. So what are you portraying when you're making this content? Sorry, those two statements don't work together.
I actually miss that time so much. I feel like people don't make YouTube videos like that anymore. Like my morning routine, my life hacks for back to school, whatever. Or even like the back to school videos and stuff. People would be like, you're literally 24 and like in college, or not even in college anymore. Like, why are you doing back to school videos? Not necessarily to me. I feel like I stopped by that point, but it was just for entertainment. It was what we did. It was our job. So yeah, I feel like a lot of it wasn't real. It's like you would put together stuff and like add stuff into your routine to make it more interesting for the video. People are like, oh, they really had me out here thinking they were doing.
That's literally a lie. When you put videos online and say my morning routine, and then that's not actually what you do in the morning, that is a lie by nature.
Stuff every day. I'm like, wait, what? It was just for fun. It was all just for a fun, entertaining video.
She's so nonchalant about it, like it was just for fun. It was all for entertainment. It wasn't meant to be real. Girl, your subscribers were literally anywhere between 12 to 18. Thankfully, I was on the older side of that spectrum. Your followers, your subscribers were young kids who, thankfully, like at that point in their lives, didn't automatically expect everyone to just be flat out lying to them. If you didn't know, Aspen Ovard back in the day was a part of this group with like Sierra Furtado, Alicia Marie, Remy, I forget her last name. They were all part of the same group, the same clique on YouTube, and they really made videos like morning routines, back to school routines, hauls, like all those types of videos are very popular. However, according to Aspen, we all should have known that those videos were not real. They were just for fun. They were just entertainment. It wasn't a lie, but it was not real. Some of it was real, most of it wasn't. When you're putting realistic and real in the YouTube video title, wouldn't you think that those videos are supposed to give off the impression that this is an accurate representation of your morning routine or your back to school routine or whatever video you're making? You think that if you read the word real and realistic, that is what you're trying to sell to your followers, that this is a real and realistic routine that you do every single day. Aspen made a good point when she said, when you're 24, why are you doing back to school videos? And the answer is because it's good for views. It's good for money. It's good for sponsorships. Those videos are what got them engagement because their viewers were younger. It's kind of sad that even back then we automatically should have just assumed that everyone was lying to us. And I like to think of those times as a more genuine time on YouTube where people are just being their authentic selves and making fun videos to show what their life is like. Like, yeah, I get it now. It's more common to just, oh yeah, that's rage bait. Oh yeah, they're lying to me. Oh yeah, that's a sponsored post. But back then when YouTube, the whole platform was meant to be a more wholesome place. I know for me, maybe I'm just gullible, but I thought that that those videos were real. So after watching that video and getting kind of heated, as you can probably tell, I'm trying to keep it under wraps for this video, but I'm probably failing. I checked out the comments in that video to see what other people thought, because it couldn't just be me that was so upset and angry and felt just like blindsided by this post. Thankfully, but also not thankfully, because it's really sad, I wasn't the only one. One comment said, "Girl, I think that might have only been known between the gurus because we were deaf thinking it was a dream we could work to obtain." You know what's sad is just knowing that all those people in that group, maybe not all, but majority of the people in that group knew what was going on behind the scenes and just literally selling and pushing this idea onto their subscribers, their young, impressionable subscribers, that this lifestyle is what they actually do. When you are an influencer, you are responsible for what you put on the internet, because the word influence is literally in the name of your job title. Another comment said, "We were just babies." Crying face, crying face. Someone else commented a really good question. What's something you create or do purely for yourself, not for content? And I feel like at this point, when we look at influencers on the internet, they don't make content just for themselves. It's always got some sort of intention behind it, whether it's through promoting something that you can buy on their Amazon storefront so they can make a commission, whether it's a brand deal, whether it's just plain lies for engagement. Most influencers don't make content just for themselves anymore. That may be how they started, but it's not where they've ended up. This one commenter said, "So what's real and what's not real? How could people know that?" Because when Aspen said, like, some of it was real, but 90% of it wasn't, how are people, especially young children, supposed to differentiate between what's real and what's a fabrication? If you expect them to have that level of, like, starts with an A, it's on the tip of my tongue, awareness. That level of awareness, you are doing your subscribers a disservice, because at that age, they don't have that level of awareness to differentiate between what's real and what's a fabrication, because they haven't experienced much life yet to know what is possible. One commenter said, "I fully believed you did all that every day." You would think so, because they're putting real and realistic in the title, and in their commentary or their voiceover, they're saying, "This is what I do every single morning in the summer, in the fall, or back to school, blah, 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 blah." I immensely enjoyed watching those videos as a teenager. Those are what got me through, like, the most horrible parts of my life, dreaming of something that could be better. The point of the message is that these young kids are not going to know what's real and what's not real when you aren't being completely honest about what real is. One commenter said, "And this is why my kids don't watch YouTube. No matter how I have things set up, somehow family vlogs slip through. It sets unrealistic standards and they think that some things are real." Yes, because these influencers are selling this realistic lifestyle to their young followers, putting that label on there and then expecting them to know it's a lie. Someone make it make sense. Another commenter said, "What? I assure you no one knew that wasn't real. Like, I don't think people thought that you did everything every single day, but that those were the general idea of your daily routine." Because the word daily means every single day. Routine is something you do over and over again. Habits you do every, like, so often or every day to make it a routine. Daily routine. That's all I'm gonna say. Someone else said, "Ugh, we were lied to. I felt like I was a failure watching them. Girl, I was like 12. How was I supposed to know? I thought you guys did it every day. Why would people have thought it was fake?" All of her followers on TikTok are people who have followed her from the very beginning of her content creation journey. And the fact that she just openly admitted to millions of followers that it was all a fabrication, some of it might have been real and some of it wasn't, that's a problem, and people are not happy about it. And truthfully, I don't blame them. As an influencer, as I mentioned before, you have a responsibility to your followers. You take on that responsibility when you start making that TikTok account or that YouTube channel, and that becomes your intention. And the fact that you just so casually and nonchalantly flat out said, "It wasn't real, it was just entertainment, I thought everyone knew that." No. Nobody knew that. So the question I asked myself when I was watching that video is, why do they do this? Why do they lie to people? In my opinion, the answer is simple. Relatability doesn't sell. It's becoming more common on social media nowadays, where people show their morning or their normal life in vlogs or talking about it. Like, I love to see that. People just showing real life. But for the most part, relatability doesn't sell, and aspiration does. They're not just sharing their lives, they're selling you a version of their life that doesn't exist, that you can buy into or aspire to have.
probably spent 10 to 15 minutes this morning scrolling through all the influencer confessions, and to say that I'm like shocked and disgusted is actually such an understatement. I feel like out of all people, those who like work in social media and who are influencers should be the most careful with what they post, so I do not understand why some of them chose to partake in this trend. Like, I get it, some of the confessions are like supposed to be funny, like hee hee haha, whatever, but like some of the confessions are actually like really damaging to their social presence. I've seen fitness influencers confess that all the workouts that they like put out there are actually fake and that they have a BBL. I've seen makeup influencers lie about how much product they use just to get views. I've even seen cooking influencers lie and say that the food that they were pretending to make, they actually just bought. Does no one else see a problem with this? And with the TikTok ban coming up, they're all saying, oh, like, go follow my Instagram, go follow my whatever, as if they didn't just confess to something that could literally ruin their entire career. And what about in the off chance that TikTok doesn't get banned or like it comes back? All of these people are going to have footage of lying about whatever they confess to on the internet forever. So as the average viewer, do they really think that A, I'm gonna go support them on another platform, and B, trust them ever again? And what makes it worse is that you have a ton of other smaller creators who are trying to like give you honest feedback and create honest content. In general, they have like really genuine intentions for trying to like help people out. For years, they've been overshadowed and literally like shunned out by all of the bigger creators in the area who are not even telling the truth. I know so many other small creators who put so much time into their content and make genuine, like, honest content. They will tell you if they don't like a makeup product. They will tell you if a workout plan didn't work for them. So as of right now, I view those creators as far more trustworthy than any of these, like, huge influencers. But, like, life goes on. Who knows what's gonna happen for them next? I mean, they chose to confess what they chose to confess. I, for one, am curious to see how it'll affect them long term.
But it doesn't just stop at the lifestyles. Influencers are also lying about the products they claim to love. How many times have you seen an influencer gush over a new skincare line, only to find out later they've never actually used it? We're going to watch a clip from the High Strollers podcast with Brittany Saunders, who is an Australian influencer that I watched all the time, and I love her. She is probably one of the most authentic influencers that I have followed back in the day, and she's kind of popped up on YouTube again because she did take like a 4-year break from posting, and now she's back. But she is so unique and her personality is awesome and I love it. So I don't want this to be, oh, I have a problem with her. I have absolutely no problems with her. The purpose of me showing you this podcast clip is to give you guys some insight into how much influencers are actually making through the brand deals that they sign up for.
What was the highest paying sponsorship you've ever had or heard of?
I think when I was still doing all my brand deals, there was one brand in particular that I was working with every single month. So every month I had to do one post and like 3 story slides. And I this is years ago now, so I can't exactly remember, but I worked with them every month for like more than 6 months. And every month I was getting, just from that one brand, like maybe $7,000 or $8,000 a month. So like, let's just even say it was $7,000 for 6 months. So I got like 42 grand in 6 months just from the one brand. That's a great income just from that alone.
Just from one post and 3 stories every month for 6 months. Geez, that's like a lot of money. $7,000 to $8,000 per month for one reel and 3 stories. That is nothing. That is not a lot of work for that amount of income. Can you honestly imagine being paid $42,000 in 6 months for such a minuscule amount of work? And if a brand was offering any influencer that much money to promote a product, you can bet your bottom dollar that they would sign up for that regardless of the product, because that is great income, especially when influencers' income fluctuates so much. They're always wondering where their next dollar is coming from because they don't have a stable income. It relies solely on your wallet or brands paying them to promote products to you. So 99% of influencers would take a brand deal that is paying that much money, or even like somewhere close to that, because it's great income and they need money. And they do that without any regard for you. And I'm not saying all influencers would take a deal for a product they genuinely didn't like or thought was garbage. Not all influencers are like that. But the reality is most people would do just about anything for money, including lying to you about a product or service they don't actually use. But the problem with influencers is there actually a way to tell which influencers are genuine in the products they recommend or the ones that are lying to you? And the truth is, It's hard to tell. You can't really tell, honestly. And a little insight from someone who does do content creation and has for the better part of a year or over a year. Sometimes brands will literally send you scripts to say word for word because they have specific points that they want you to say. This influencer in particular, Samara Alam, who has 268,000 followers on TikTok, gives some pretty good insight about this. So we're going to watch that video now.
Why do I get so shocked when people actually buy the products I recommend? I mean, obviously, right? Like, I'm an influencer. I influence people to get whatever. Like, that's literally my job, love. But, like, me personally, I don't buy anything an influencer recommends because, like, 99% of these influencers are liars. They only promote what they're promoting because the brand literally said in a PDF that they have to say these exact talking points. And that's exactly what they tell me. Like, when I do brand deals, I only ever say the points that I actually agree with. Like, I just can't believe that you guys trust me because I don't trust influencers. And it just makes me so happy that, like, I don't promote shitty products. Like, thank God I didn't lie. Like, I mean, obviously, I would never lie. And this is the exact reason why I don't lie. You guys literally go to work. You slave your lives away at a 9 to 5. And imagine I recommended you something that was scam. And the girl who commented this, she literally said she bought every one of those products and only one product didn't work out. But she loves the rest because, like, my recommendations are so good. Like, I'm literally a judging slaying baddie. I literally judge so well. Honestly, I hate to say that I'm better than other influencers, but, like, I'm just happy that I don't lie. Thank you for trusting me, my recommendations, and God forbid I ever betray your trust.
So she's an influencer whose job is literally to influence other people to buy products. And she herself, being someone in this industry, is saying that she doesn't trust influencers. She says she doesn't lie about the products she recommends, but, like, how do we know? Just because you say you don't lie about them doesn't mean that you don't lie about them. So someone who is in that space is telling us not to trust influencers, people who literally do the same job that she does. So what does that tell us? Not to believe everything anyone tells us online, to stop being influenced to buy things because we see them on TikTok. Because to quote Samara, 99% of them are lying to us. The caption on her TikTok says, "Do you trust influencers? Personally, I stay a bit wary because of what I know. Influencers are notorious for failing to legally disclose advertisements or for falsifying their experience with a product. Not all though, some are truthful and honest, but it seems rare nowadays. I'm a viewer before I'm an influencer. I consume way more content than I create because I love just watching content ever since I was a kid. So being on the influencing end of things, I know what it's like to be recommended products and obviously want to trust those recommendations." So I do appreciate the fact that she took time to actually explain this to her subscribers. That's very brave of her to literally talk down on the industry that she's in. It's very brave of her because that could have just destroyed her own career. But you know what? I do commend her for being honest, brutally honest at that, and telling people not to trust influencers, 99% of them anyway. Because like she said, some influencers are honest and actually are genuine.
All right, this is awkward, but I need to make a video about influencers that are 100% lying to you on this app. And I assume that it's also the case on Instagram and on YouTube as well, but I've never been an influencer on those platforms, so I can't necessarily speak to it. But I've got two stories for you. The first one is, a while back I was posting a bunch of silk pillowcase content because you guys know I love my Blissy, and at that time none of those posts were sponsored, none of them were paid for, nothing like that. I just literally love Blissy and I wanted to post about it. After that though, I got a whole bunch of silk brands who were DMing me and messaging me, emailing me about doing paid posts for them. And one brand in particular was willing to pay a whole bunch of money to get me to post, and it was a very reputable brand. So I literally signed the contract before I had received any product. I signed the contract. I'm like, yes, I want to do this for you. I was so excited. It was actually probably my first big paid post, like my real big one. I was so excited. I get the product in the mail. I tear open the box. Oh my God. There are strings and hairs and like little things everywhere. The quality was terrible. And it was a little cheaper than Blissy, and I was like, well, maybe it's okay because it's cheaper. People know that it's less good. But I didn't feel comfortable posting. So I go on Instagram and I'm DMing other influencers, and I'm on TikTok DMing my friend influencers, and I'm like, what would you do in this case? And 9 people out of 10 said, just do it. You've signed the contract, you've got the pillowcases, who cares? It's a lot of money, take the contract. I didn't. I had my tail between my legs. I had to go back to the brand and I literally had to say, like, I will pay to ship you these products back. I felt so bad. It's also because it's wasting their time. Like, we had spent 2 years negotiating a contract. 2 years. 2 weeks negotiating this contract. Sorry. Anyway, I'm like, I will ship it back to you. They were really nice. They were like, no, it's fine. You can cancel the contract. But the fact that other influencers were so willing to just take that deal should say something to you. And the second story, this one's shorter, is a lot of brands will send you products and then give you 48 hours to try it. Now with makeup, maybe that's true. You can definitely test makeup in 24, 48 hours if you have to. Skincare, you can't test it in 48 hours. And I know that a lot of these brands, because I've gotten so much money proposed to me to post these products, and I'm like, I can't test it in that amount of time unless I've already tried it, or unless it's something that has very visible, obvious results. You just can't test it in that amount of time. So I've declined those contracts, and as I'm scrolling through my TikTok, you better believe I'm seeing that brand with sponsored posts all over my feed. So I'm just gonna say, be aware, be wary of who you are following on this app, because you really want to be following people who have your best interest at heart and who are not just going to take every single paid post to make a dime. Okay, that's all.
I do really like the fact that she made this video and kind of gave insight into her own experiences with brand deals and kind of what goes on behind the scenes, because honestly, getting a pillowcase with like hairs and everything all over it, that's disgusting. I think the main mistake she made, like, not that she ended up posting that video anyway, but don't ever, as a content creator or influencer, sign a contract before you have a chance to test the products. When I'm approached by brands, I always say, can I try it for at least 30 days before I go ahead and recommend it to my subscribers or my followers? Because I don't want to sell you guys a cheap, poorly made, disgusting product. I want to tell you guys things that I genuinely love. If that's a video you guys want to see, let me know in the comments. I'll share with you guys things that I actually think are worth the money to buy, and I won't even use my affiliate links. I won't do anything like that. They will be genuine recommendations. So just let me know if that's something you would like to see, and then I can start working on that video for you, because there are some items that I genuinely think are worth the money. But what can we get from this video, and even from the last video? That there are two different kinds of influencers. One, they just lie to you. They have no regard for your financial well-being, mental well-being, and they literally have not a lick of integrity. The second influencers are people who genuinely care about their subscribers and have their best interest at heart. As a content creator myself, I've been approached by a lot of brands that are just sketchy as heck and will offer to ship products to you and give you about 24 hours to try that product before you turn around and make a video and have it literally sent to them within like 5 days. Typically, I ignore those emails, thankfully. I would have a lot more sponsored posts if I did that. Like I said, I usually respond to these brands saying, I want to try the product first, give it at least 30 days to try it before I recommend it. And most of the time, these brands never respond, and that should say something. The best thing you can do to avoid this is, one, limit your time on social media, and with TikTok being banned, that could be a good thing. Or number two, go through your following list, and any content creator you see or follow that has their content being 80% ads, just unfollow them.
I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna tell the truth. So these are some things that you definitely did not know about influencers and content creators, coming from a content creator. Yo, before I started doing this full time, I always wondered how much money influencers made and how they made their money, and I wanted to know like the behind the scenes stuff that they don't talk about, so I'm gonna be exposing all of that today. Content creators have content days where they literally take all of their photos in the same day. I pack a suitcase, takes about 6 hours. I promise you, I only do brand deals with products that I actually like, actually stan. However, there are a lot of influencers who don't do that. They just want the money. I'm not coming at anyone when I say this. Your favorite influencer and the person you look up to is usually not the same offline. Bro, I've seen it and my dreams have been crushed. You know when they post their Amazon faves and they're like, swipe up, go shop. It's an affiliate link. Like for part 2.
One thing that stood out to me is when Spencer said that content creators have content days and they literally pack a suitcase with a whole bunch of different outfits, take about 6 hours to take photos, either for their Instagram feed or their brand deals that they have. They do this so then their posts look like it's a totally different day. But the reality is most people and most influencers are not 100% put together majority of the time. That's just not how people live their lives. Unless you're like some highballer who has to be looking that sharp every single day. That's just not how it is. I would say 90% of the time they are at home with a messy bun and some sweats, replying to emails and not looking all that fancy, which is totally fine. I actually prefer being at home in sweats rather than dressing up. What's not okay is when normal people, not influencers, start comparing themselves to these people they see online and comparing themselves to a version of an influencer that in reality doesn't really exist. It is really sad that there are a lot of influencers who just want the money and don't take their job as an influencer seriously. I know some people, when they watch these videos, I get comments, who cares what they do? Everybody. because that is their job, to make people care about what they do, what they use, where they're going, where they live. Their job is to be a role model for their followers. And influence is literally in the title. It takes up 99% of the title. Add an R in the end and there you go, influencer. And if they are lying about their lifestyle and the products they like, then I feel like we as consumers need to stop letting ourselves be influenced so easily. They only have as much power as we give them. If they aren't getting views, if there is no one to influence, that makes their job basically void.
A lot of these lifestyle and luxury influencers are actually selling you the idea of what a poor person thinks is luxury. So a lot of them, you know, they're going on these private jets, they're going to these luxury hotels, they're going into Chanel, Dior, Louis Vuitton to get this, that, whatever. But actual wealthy people don't actually live like this. You can see it by even looking at celebrities. Most of the time, celebrities are not decked out in brands from top to bottom. Like they may be wearing an independent designer, even fast fashion at times, which is rare actually. It's because this is not how wealthy people actually live. The true luxury for them is just doing and buying whatever they want. They don't have to think about work or like where their next meal is coming from. That's the luxury. They can do whatever they want. One of my exes who had very old money, old and long money. He never has to work a day in his life. His family has multiple properties that they can just make money from. But they choose not to make money from it because they don't need the money. He was never one to buy like, you know, these flashy brands or anything like that. He just woke up every day just doing what he wants, never thinking about money, but would rather pursue things like purpose and hobbies and whatever. Like this is luxury. The luxury that a lot of these influencers are selling are solely materialistic. When true luxury, genuine luxury, is having the time and the privilege to do whatever you want without worrying about bills and worrying about money.
She makes a lot of great points, but the point I really want to drive our focus to is when she say that actual wealthy people do not live like this. True luxury is not having the most expensive purse or clothing or expensive brands. It's the freedom to not worry about where your next meal will come from or how you're going to pay your bills. That is true luxury. It's the freedom of choice. And a lot of people don't have that. These influencers who portray this image of wealth with all their expensive items that they have, all the hauls that they film and post on social media, who are constantly trying to sell you something, they are not truly wealthy. Otherwise, they wouldn't be chasing your money so much. They wouldn't be taking so many brand deals and they wouldn't be pushing so many affiliate links because they wouldn't need the money. Reality is they actually really do need the money, hence why they're taking all these deals.
Every time I open up this app, I kid you not, I see somebody talking about how are these 19 and 20-year-old influencers living in these skyrise apartments, driving Lamborghinis, unboxing a $500 to $2,000 bag every week. As somebody that's been in the influencer space for over 10 years, let me tell you exactly how they're doing it. Obviously, some people are born lucky. They get born into rich families and their families take care of them, so they're able to shop like that. But let me tell you about the other 90%. I told you guys in a previous TikTok that I witnessed somebody's card get declined and they managed to open up another line of credit on their phone in under 10 minutes and pay for said bag that was thousands of dollars. I have watched people film $10,000 shopping haul and then go and return all of it. I'm sure you guys have come across those girls that are like, I don't wear things more than once. Yeah, because most of them are returning it. Like, not the fake bouginess. How are they driving these expensive cars? Child, they are renting them by the week. I'm talking spending $1,000 to fake flex a car, film a whole car tour just to have to return it. That's why I say do not believe everything that you see online because most of it is fake. I have had at least 10 influencers tell me that they have never paid their taxes. These big mansions and nice apartments you see them living in, they don't own them, they're renting. That's why it always gags me when I see people that I used to be cool with e-begging online talking about, can you guys donate money to me, when they used to spend like $12,000 a month on their apartment. Like, baby, if you would have saved that money and just bought a house, you wouldn't be on here doing all this. Talking about lion! He said a lion! Another galaxy, another rose. Why didn't you invest in a home? Like, why didn't you buy a house instead of renting these big mansions?
Okay, she makes a good point. Whenever I see influencers doing lives like that, I cringe a little inside. I've been literally recruited to join like a Christian version of that so many times. Me and my friend, who also does social media, Christian content on Instagram and TikTok, we've both been trying to be recruited for this thing that is just the worst thing. All the Christian influencers are doing it. Not all of them, but most of them. And I don't even know what it's called, but I'm not interested. I just ignore those messages. Simply Nessa, she points out a lot of things that are really wrong with the influencer industry. Recently, there was an influencer, Marlena Velez, who literally made a living off of doing hauls and Target hauls and all that stuff and posting it online. Turns out she was just arrested for shoplifting all that crap. And it wasn't just one time. She had been doing it for a while, so she was promoting products to you that she literally stole in order to make money. I personally think the influencer industry is severely flawed, and while their content may be entertaining, they are failing their followers by continuously selling them a lifestyle that they can't even achieve themselves. It is really sad that we have come to a point in society where we automatically have to assume that everything we see online, everything that people are telling us, is just a lie. What kind of a world is that? One example we have of an influencer lying to us is Michaela. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm not going to try. But Michaela, a makeup guru who's on TikTok and Instagram, and I think YouTube, I don't even know. There is a lot of controversy on this creator, and I'm not going to deep dive into this creator. There are tons of videos on that. But what I want to point out here is that she was caught lying to her followers about a product that she initially claimed to like in 2022. Why? Because it was an ad. She posted another review a few years later, I believe, claiming she didn't actually like it at all, but forgot that she did a sponsored post for it back in 2022.
And I want to like this. I do. I want to like it, but the wand is too big and it works almost too well. Like once you get those brow hairs in place, they are stuck and it's actually a little bit difficult to get off. Makes my brows look pretty good, but I just really prefer my NYX brow glue. I also find that the pencil I use like every day does not go on as smoothly when I use this brow. That's gel. They came out with a brow gel called Glued. Wow. All right, let's see. I'm going to do a soap fluffy brow. My brows, it feels really nice and cold. Okay. Easily combed through. I know something though. My brows look so good. Holy shit. They look so fluffy. Ugh.
Now, we could give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe after a while, she found a product that she liked more, or she ended up not liking the product as much as she initially did. Perhaps she found other products like that NYX one she mentioned that she likes way more that she can't even compare to this glued product. The truth is, we will never really know, but as we mentioned before, influencers get approached by brands. They jump onto that deal before they actually give the product they're promoting a good, fair trial run of testing before promoting it to their influx of followers. And then fast forward, that product ends up being complete trash. They may promote a product that they've barely used or tested, relying solely on the information provided by the brand, which in my opinion is not enough information to promote a product to somebody. Not only are influencers lying about their lifestyle, the products they claim, but they're also lying to you about who they are as a person. We're gonna get into some videos, but I really do want to show you guys this book I'm reading recently. And it's called The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. This is not sponsored. I have been flying through this book, and I don't know if you guys have followed the Ruby Frankie case. She was the creator of the 8 Passengers YouTube channel, which I believe now is taken down, but she was arrested along with Jodi Hildebrandt for child abuse and all that. You can probably listen to a bunch of true crime podcasts about that. She literally was a family vlogging channel, vlogging her children, exploiting them for views, all with a happy smile on their face. Sherry Frankie, Ruby Frankie's daughter, goes into how it felt to be a part of that behind the scenes and how Ruby was off camera and why they were just so scared to be themselves on camera. Every moment of their lives was documented. Every moment you saw on those vlogs were planned moments or things that Ruby did intentionally to just embarrass her children for views. So I really recommend reading this book. So good, so heartbreaking though. This is a prime example of how influencers lie to you online. Not every influencer, but there are so many that are like this, along with the other influencer who's poisoning her baby for views and clout. Like, people are messed up. Anyway, let's get into the videos we're gonna watch before I get too heated to continue with this video.
So I just moved to LA from Ohio, and by now I've met a lot of the influencers that live here, and some are great and really fun to be around. Others are more like the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. But other than that, they're nice people. Here's what it's like to meet the worst person you've ever met in your entire life at a party in LA. Okay, I'm me right now. Hi, I'm Becca. Hi. I'm a huge fan. I love you. Aww. Why do you look familiar? Do you comment on my stuff all the time? You big fan? No, I make TikToks too. You might have seen them. I don't know. I'm sorry. Aw, cute. That's probably not it though. I don't watch other people's TikToks. I'm busy. You are standing right in front of me, and Justin Bieber's at this party, so nice to meet you. Cutie, sweetie, love her. Here's what it's like to meet someone that you're mutuals with, but you're about to find out they're one of the worst people you've ever met in your entire life. Here's me trying to greet them, thinking that they'll be normal. Oh my God, Ashley. How are you? Who are you? Are you a fan? Hi. It's Becca. We were DMing this morning and yesterday and the day before yesterday. Becca. Oh, the Becca girl. How'd you get into this party? Who invited you? For real, who invited you? Thought it was hard. It spent like 3 days trying to get into this party. You are still doing the little ticky-tacky things that you're doing, right? Oh, cutie, cute. Love that. That's so cute. Keep doing them. One day they'll amount to something. I do TikTok full-time as well, actually, except mine are different than yours and different in a better way, you know? Like mine are actually good. That's cute of you though.
I'm going to stop it there because imagine seeing someone in person that you follow online and they turn out to be completely opposite to what they portray on social media. Like their whole personality is just a lie. From what Becca is acting out in this scenario, the influencers that she's meeting are making her feel less than because she probably doesn't have as many followers as them, or they think that they're better than her. Even if she wasn't an influencer, this happens a lot more than we think. Just because someone posts online and fabricates their whole personality does not mean that that's who they are in real life. Unfortunately, this happens in real life too, but the fact that influencers are selling this facade to you in order to make money off of you is just plain unethical. Many influencers' online personas are just that. Personas. And that's not always a bad thing, but it depends on what they're actually doing. In the case of what I'm talking about, these influencers who literally lie to you about the products, their lifestyle, who they are as a person, and they're actually just crap people. That's what's the issue. They're crafted to be likable, relatable, and aspirational, but they're not always accurate reflections of who that person is. So what does that mean for us as viewers and consumers? That means, first of all, take whatever we see on social media with a grain of salt. Nothing is as it seems. That effortless and luxurious lifestyle might just be anything but. Second, it's a call to action. We need to start or continue to question what we are consuming online, in person, at the store, the advertisements we see. We need to be critically thinking. Who benefits from believing this illusion? It's not us. At the end of the day, social media is a tool and it's up to us to decide how we want to use it. Remember, influencers, unethical influencers, only have as much power as we give to them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video today. If you liked it, make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe. God bless you all, and until next time.